Caitlin Clark has a lot of haters, and if you haven't noticed a trend yet, she proves them wrong one by one. Diana Taurasi had a lot of bad things to say, so Clark's beat her 4 times so far. But Diana isn't the only WNBA GOAT that has a lot to say about Caitlin. 4-time champion and 3-time MVP Sheryl Swoopes has a lot of negative things to say also.
I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game. You have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. You should be killing them.
Unlike Diana, Swoopes is retired, so Clark can't get her revenge on the basketball court. But what she can do is come into her house and turn her town into a second home, which is what she did.
Obviously it's annoying because there were way too many Caitlin fans. I had mixed feelings obviously seeing all the Caitlin jerseys in our home, but it's an amazing sign for women's basketball. And
remember, Sheryl Swoopes is Texas. She was born and bred, played college and in the NBA in the state of Texas, and once she retired, she became a part of the Wings broadcasting team. But because of her comments about Caitlin Clark, she was actually removed from the broadcasting team to avoid causing any more drama by saying negative comments about Caitlin during this game. She was replaced by another Hall of Famer who used this platform to send a message to the Caitlin Clark haters within the space.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational. I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark. You're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did, and we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
Now that we've addressed the craziness, let's talk about this insane basketball game that showcased some of the best individual talent in the WNBA. Every single game, the Fever's first play of the game looks like this. Usually it's a Boston pass to Mitchell across the baseline, but this time they switched it up. Mitchell curl cuts to the hoop, Smith instead of Boston finds her, and the Fever draw first blood. But the Wings do them one better. The superstar Arike Ogunbowale drops a 30-foot bomb with her first shot of the game. It wasn't too long ago that these two players were cooking Team USA at All-Star Weekend, and now they're going head to head in this game. But other players were getting in on the action too. NaLyssa Smith had a great game against the Sky, and she picked up where she left off from last game. Right here, she spins out of the low post and reverses it in for her first points. Then for the Wings, it's Satu Sabally, the German. Ball ends up at her feet following the uncalled kickball from Mitchell, and she just shoots over NaLyssa Smith and swishes it. But Smith needs to do a better job of getting her hand up in these shooters' faces. You cannot let shooters get hot and in rhythm early on, or you'll pay the price for it later in the game. That being said, NaLyssa Smith quickly redeemed herself, because she was part of possibly the play of the season. Arike bricks the long three, Clark gets the rebound, and she throws a missile from her own 3-point line to the paint right on the money to Mitchell, who blindly throws a no-look behind the back bounce pass to a trailing NaLyssa Smith, who scores. What a play! Indiana Fever Showtime basketball on full display in Texas. Everyone's getting involved for the Fever. Kelsey Mitchell on the boards, twisting, crossing, having her way with Sheldon and pulling up off the dribble for a nice jumper. And then the defense. Aaliyah Boston stops the quick transition layup with the rejection. Clark comes the other way, runs the screen and roll with Boston. And watch here. The Wings blitz her in the double. Boston is rolling to the basket, and usually here Clark would slip it into Boston with a pocket pass, and that would be a bucket. But Clark's one step ahead. She knows that the weak side defender is going to rotate over and move over to stop Boston from scoring, so she catches everyone by surprise, turns and throws it to Smith, who's now wide open for a baseline mid-range jumper. Great point guard play and IQ from Clark, using the scouting report to her advantage. I say it all the time, Kyrie Irving fans, if you're looking for a WNBA player to stan, I gift to you Arike Ogunbowale. Remember the game winner she hit against the Fever in Caitlin Clark's first WNBA game? That's just what she does on a nightly basis. Watch here in transition. She reads the defense, waits for Boston to stand her ground, quick hezzy step back, launches a free. Aaliyah Boston in no man's land can't close out, and that's her second free ball of the game. If you've been a Caitlin Clark fan since the Iowa days, you should subscribe to the channel. because you'll remember the battles between her and JC Sheldon. Right here, Clark looks like James Harden, has Sheldon tripping over her own feet, steps back and fires a triple, but she bricks it. Still no points on the board for Clark. That would have been a highlight play. Another highlight play that never was this assist from Caitlin. Backing down Sheldon, who defends her well, Arike falls asleep on defense, completely oblivious to her surroundings and is not paying attention to the Mitchell back cut. Clark squeezes through the perfect bounce pass and Mitchell, doing her best Angel Reese impression, smokes the easiest layup she'll see all night. But whatever Arike gives up on defense, she gives you back on offense. She's camping in NBA range and without hesitation catches, shoots and connects. That's 3 free balls already for Ogunbowale, and it's only the first quarter. We are witnessing 2 of the best tough shot makers in the W going at it in this game. Watch Mitchell de-accelerate, spin, then cross into a step back jumper all in one motion and knock down the long 2. But then Ogunbowale answers right back. She crosses half court with one thing in mind, and her free ball is cash money, banking it in off the glass. That's 12 first quarter points for her. We're in a shootout now, and Indiana brought out the heavy gunners as Caitlin Clark, scoreless with 2 minutes to go in the first, finally gets in on the action. Boston hits Sheldon with a brick wall screen, and Clark going left only ends one way, and that's 3 more points for the Fever. It took Clark 8 minutes to score a field goal, and now she does it twice in 30 seconds. Double screen from Temi and Boston to free her up. Dallas decide not to switch on the screen, so Clark takes the smaller defender inside and lays it up going right. Rookie mistake right here from Kelsey Mitchell. Ogunbowale is 4 of 4 from deep. As a defender, she has 2 options. She can fight over the screen and get a hand up, or go under the screen, which will cost you and your team 3 points, because when Arike Ogunbowale is that hot, her shot is automatic, and she makes it 15 points in the first. The quarter ends 23-19, and that right there was some of the fastest paced, most entertaining basketball I've seen in a long time. Circus shots, physicality, showtime, it had it all. That first quarter was all about Arike Ogunbowale. Caitlin Clark was quiet with just 5 points. And with the way things were looking, Indiana were going to need one of them to step up if they were going to have a chance to win this game. And spoiler alert, one of them did. The last thing the Fever need is the Wings backcourt cooking even more. JC Sheldon here catches Clark not on her toes, passes into the high post to the big, and she doesn't stop moving, turns the corner, goes back door, receives the pass and finishes with the right hand. But Kelsey Mitchell answers right back. Iverson cut through screens from one side to the other, and her mid-range jumper is good. And right here, the Fever turn defense into offense. Dantas with the steal, outlet pass to Hall. She smokes the transition layup, but Mitchell rips Sabale on the rebound. Hall comes up with the possession. Mitchell backpedals to the corner and buries the free ball. Timeout Dallas as the Fever now lead by 1. Mitchell rose to the challenge to compete with Arike, but Ogunbowale wasn't gonna back down. Last time in transition here, Arike pulled up for the 3, but to keep the defense guessing, this time gathers and steps through all the way to the hoop and spins it in off the glass with the reverse finish. JC Sheldon might be known for her scoring, but she can facilitate too. Watch how she utilizes the pick and roll, not forcing anything, and when doubled on the drive, gets it into Natasha Howard wide open for an easy assisted layup. Speaking of facilitating, watch number 22, poor pass from Dantas. Clark does well to keep it from going out of bounds, but Sheldon's applying pressure, forcing her baseline with nowhere to go. Howard tries to trap the box on the baseline, and before going out of bounds, Clark manages to slip a bounce pass through to Smith, who finishes with the soft touch close to the basket. Caitlin Clark hits the bench, still a quiet game for her for now. So it's time for the role players to step up, and Lexi Hull does just that. Watch her pump fake from the corner here, gets the defender to bite, then hits the pull-up jumper inside. And just look at this terrible non-call from the officials. Kelsey Mitchell rewriting the rulebook of basketball, clearly double dribbles here and finishes with the left hand. It'd have been a lovely move if it was legal, and I was actually surprised to not see more protests from the Dallas players, because if this was the Mavericks, best believe Luka Doncic would be in the ref's ear for the rest of the game. The bigs are battling down low here, McCowan and Boston fighting for position. Sheldon throws the high pass into the post and McCowan gets the better of Boston here and finishes close to the basket. And then Arike Ogunbowale, poetry in motion, pump fake on the drive, one-legged floater, looking like Dirk in Dallas. She's up to 19 points and the Fever have no answer for her. But the Wings don't have an answer for Mitchell either. Here she gets her shot off effortlessly, misses, but Lexi Hull hustling, comes from the weak side, gets the offensive board and navigates through a sea of bodies to score inside. 3 minutes 30 to go, Caitlin Clark comes back into the game and reintroduces herself in style. Erica Wheeler running the point, Clark playing off the ball here, hits JC Sheldon hard, allowing Clark to come up to the perimeter and knock down her second free ball of the game. She means business now, trying to close the half strong. Clark dancing with Sheldon, trying to put her on a highlight reel, gets her leaning, hand on the court. Howard helps her out, so Clark moves the ball, and watch Smith here give Howard the eyes as if she's going to pull the trigger, then cuff the ball, protecting it from the help defense while driving and still having the composure to finish. Now Alyssa Smith has been playing out of her mind these last 2 games, and she's playing both ends. Right here she pokes it away from Howard. Fever on the fast break is a dangerous sight. Smith spins and throws the one-handed dime to Caitlin for the layup, and the Fever are playing some beautiful, unselfish basketball in this game. Finally, Aaliyah Boston's in on the action. She was surprisingly quiet against the Sky and has been quiet in this game too. She gets her first field goal here, receives the pass from Clark, backs down in the post, spins over the shoulder and finishes. Just watch Arike Ogunbowale here. She drives on Wheeler, wants the foul, doesn't get it, but doesn't give up on the play, grabs the rebound, saves the possession for her team, and standing out of bounds, runs to the corner across the baseline, checks, fires, scores. That's her 6th free of the ball game. She's just one off her career high and it's not even half time. And it's important they stay ahead. Why? Because Caitlin Clark has come to life. Screen with Boston, she gets the switch she's looking for, turns the corner, fancies herself in a foot race to the goal with McCowan and lays it in off the glass. There's just no stopping Caitlin Clark when she drives right. 30 seconds to go, Fever up 3. Arike in the pick and roll is blitzed by Smith and Mitchell, gives it up to Howard who finds the big for a layup. It's a 1-point game. Clark drains some clock, gets the look she was hoping for, misses. McGowan gets the board and Arike out in transition, gets the layup up and in before the buzzer, and the Wings take the lead going into halftime. That's 24 first half points for Arike Ogunbowale carrying the team. Clark came to life at the end of the half, taking herself up to 12 points, and Kelsey Mitchell leading the Fever in scoring with 15. Some great basketball in the first half, but the second half was even better. Second half starts, and with the shot clock winding down, Satu Sabali drains the free. Then there was a jump ball at the foul line. Alyssa Smith wins it, there's an awkward high bounce, Clark tips it to Lexi top of the key, thinks about the free, instead makes the extra pass to Mitchell. She doesn't hesitate, and why should she? Because she's the hottest scorer in the WNBA right now, and that's her 2nd free of the game. Testing the hot hand, Clark in transition dishes to Mitchell in the corner, who gets the defender to bite, relocates for the free, misses, but Aaliyah Boston chases down the board and taps it Smith's way for the easy second chance points. But the Fever keep making the same mistakes defensively. Lexi is sucked in to try and help McCowan down low, leaving Sabali wide open from the same spot again, and that's Satu's 2nd free of the half. Alyssa Smith continues to impress. She drives, spins into the paint, has nowhere to go, but makes a tough shot with 2 defenders in her face. Just because Arike is playing off the ball doesn't mean you can sleep on her. Great screen here to obstruct Mitchell, and watch how Arike backpedals slightly to create that separation. Open look, catch and shoot, corner free, connects, and with that free ball, Arike ties her career high in 3-pointers made. Indiana down 5, need a big shot, and guess who answers the call? Watch Clark's movement off the ball here, catches Sheldon off guard with the sharp change of direction, gets around Smith's screen, wide open 3 ball going left, that's automatic. Dallas on the break, and watch this from Natasha Howard. Sends Lexi Hull back to Stanford with a lovely fake and finish, and Dallas lead by 9. Boston to Clark, who picks out Kelsey Mitchell over the defense, right on the money for the layup. Indiana turning defense into offense within seconds, not giving Dallas any time to get back. When the Fever are playing this fast, Nobody can keep up with them in the W. But Dallas has an answer to everything they do, and that answer is Arike Ogunbowale. She's unconscious right now from the corner. Lexi Hall does well to get a hand up, but it doesn't matter. 8 threes for Arike Ogunbowale, a career high. She's absolutely frying the Fever in this game. But Kelsey Mitchell tells her, anything you can do, I can do better. From the right side, Mitchell lets fire in Arike's face. The shot is good and the foul is too. And a massive momentum shifting shot for Indiana. Arike's called for a tech in protest, so make that a 5-point play as Mitchell converts both the free throws. And guess what? The Fever get to keep possession too. And look at the inbound play. Clark camping at the elbow, probes as if she's about to come and get the handoff from Boston, then takes Sheldon by surprise, turning the other way towards the basket, and all of a sudden, Clark with that basket makes it a 1-point game. Dallas gets some easy points on the board at the line on consecutive trips, and with just over 30 seconds to go, Clark pursues the 2-for-1 opportunity, attacks with purpose, comes around the screen from Temi, then turns the corner, gets inside and floats it in off the glass. Dallas get 2 back with a jumper and then 10 seconds to go. Clark in a hurry, defended well by Sheldon, jacks up a step back 3, it's way off, but look at Temi. She was the screener and she follows the shot all the way, gets the board and puts it back in off the glass for 2 with just milliseconds left on the shot clock. And going into the 4th, it's a 4-point game. Dallas Wings lead 74-70. This game has been back and forth with 15 lead changes, and it was set up for a great 4th quarter, and as spectators, we weren't disappointed. The final period starts and the Fever turn to the safest play in the book, the 2-man game with Clark and Boston. Clark uses the screen, slips a bounce pass through the pocket to Boston, splitting 2 defenders, and Aaliyah takes advantage of the mismatch inside, scores over her left shoulder for just her 4th points of the game. She did this against the Sky too. After being quiet, the whole game just suddenly came to life. Boston gets the board here, gives it to Clark, she's doubled, gets aggressive and finishes strong through traffic with 3 defenders within close proximity. Count the basket and the foul, Aaliyah Boston with more points in 30 seconds than she managed in the first 3 quarters of basketball. Caitlin Clark is in her playmaking bag, punishes Howard for helping on the drive, Dantas wide open from the top of the key, she drills it from downtown and ties the ball game at 78 each. Fever have more momentum going offensively, but the Wings as the home team keep getting easy ones at the line and keeping their noses in front. But not for long though, as Caitlin Clark crosses left and pulls up off the dribble from the logo and buries the 3 to give the Fever the lead, rising to the occasion. Number 22 making massive plays for the Fever. Natasha Howard one-on-one with Lexi, lovely crossover to get inside. Lexi Hall recovers well, but Howard finishes well, proving that good offense beats good defense every time. We saw another example of this right here. The Wings know exactly what's coming, but they can't stop it. Caitlin Clark going round the screen left and you already know it's good. That's back-to-back threes from Caitlin Clark and the Fever lead by 2 with just over 6 minutes to go. 27 points and 10 assists from Caitlin. Massive second half performance, but the game isn't done. Howard ties it up at the line and now it's Kelsey Mitchell's turn to take over. She fancies herself on the perimeter with Sheldon. Shimmy, shake, shoot, splash. Kelsey Mitchell's first points of the 4th quarter came right on time. Never needed more for the Wings. Arike Ogunbowale inbounds the ball, gets it right back and uses her footwork beautifully to get the room she needs to let one fly, and it's good. 9 free balls from Ogunbowale, and this back and forth with Kelsey Mitchell is legendary. Sheldon gives the Wings the lead with a foul line jumper off the dribble. Fever down 2. Clark from her favourite left side, pick and roll with Dantas, sets up to take the free ball off the dribble. McGowan helps, leaves her feet. Clark turns to her signature pocket pass to Dantas, who pulls up from the elbow and banks it in off the backboard. Game tied at 89 each, timeout, both teams talk it over. Which player from which team is going to step up and close the deal? It's a big possession for the Fever. Clark inbound to Mitchell to Boston. She hands it back to Mitchell. Shot clock's winding down, probing. She sees an opening and sneakily passes through the defense, wins the race to the cup and lays it in off the glass with the finger roll to put the Fever up 2. Indiana get a stop. Chance to make it a 2-possession game. Clark is fouled on the drive. Can't convert the and one, but she goes to the line and makes both. And here's where the drama comes. 2 minutes to go, down 2. McCowan at the line makes the first, but misses the second. Mitchell, the smallest player on the Fever, gets the rebound, but she falls over and throws it to nobody and the ball goes out of bounds. Dallas get a second chance from the inbound. They go inside to Sabali. She hangs, overcooks the layup, and look who's fighting for the loose ball. JC Sheldon fighting with Dantas for possession, and the refs call a jump ball. Check the size difference though. Sheldon at 5'10" has no chance to win the tip with the taller Dantas. As expected, Dantas wins it, tips the jump ball forward. Kelsey Mitchell's first to react, gets ahead in transition, pauses, and ends up crossing her way into a wide open three while stationary, and she can't believe she's this wide open, and Dallas are punished for their mistake as Kelsey Mitchell sinks the free ball and gives Indiana a 4-point cushion with just over 90 seconds to go. Massive play for the Wings, they need a bucket. They've got one in Arike Ogunbowale. She comes round the screen from the baseline, one-on-one with Mitchell, drives inside, off balance, puts up a tough shot, misses. Mitchell comes down with the rebound and she's fouled with 1:15 to go. You already know Mitchell made both at the line, making it a 6-point game. The Wings need a big shot. They get a good look with Howard, top of the free key, misses. Indiana ball, just over 1 minute to go. This possession could seal it here. Clark, high pick and roll with Dantas. On the drive, she kicks it out to the sharpshooter, Lexi Hall in the corner. This could be the dagger for 100 points. But no, she misses. The Wings are still alive. Arike needs something quick, pulls up in transition for her 10th free ball. She misses, and the chance to make it a 3-point game goes begging, and that right there was the last chance saloon for the Wings. They had the ball in the hands of the right person, but Arike and her 34-point effort was bested by Indiana's Kelsey Mitchell, who closes the deal at the line and makes it 36 points, leading all scorers in the game and proving to be the difference once more. She deserves to be the WNBA's Player of the Month. I hope she wins the award, but Caitlin Clark's contribution can't go unnoticed. She came into Sheryl Swoopes' backyard, dropped 28 points, had 12 assists, took the W and dipped. Clark and Mitchell combined for 64 points in this game. Check out the numbers they're averaging since the All-Star break. We need a nickname for this duo, so leave your ideas down below in the comment section. We'll start off calling them the Splash Sisters. This was Indiana's 3rd win in a row, their 2nd game reaching 100 points, and go above 500 for the first time since 2019. And I'm going to end this video asking you guys a question. Caitlin Clark was interviewed after the game and was asked this crazy question. Tell me down below in the comments what you would say if somebody asked you this.
Caitlin, after giving the razzmatazz to those Windy City skyscrapers Friday night, what was the biggest wing ding you expected to find today in the shindig against these dynamos from Big D?
If you're still here and have made it up to this point in the video, I know you will enjoy this video in the middle of your screen right now. So go watch that, binge watch some DKM content, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the WNBA and want to see more breakdowns like this. And on that note, it's DKM signing out. Until next time, and peace.